Hello, everyone. This is Becoming BioQuantum with Jules and Leanne. And today we are going to talk about ORMUS. Yes, once again, for anybody who hasn't had a chance to discover what ORMUS is, it is a life-changing product. It certainly changed my life. And I feel it's important to address it again because I was just having a conversation the other day with my brother and he's like, what is ORMUS? So let's talk about ORMUS because no two bottles of ORMUS are made equally. They all hold a different different properties. And Jules is a master in this. She's been developing and creating ORMUS for years now. So Jules, can you share with us what is ORMUS and how are they different from one product to another?
I love this. So, okay, ORMUS is, or ORME, is orbited rearranged monoatomic element or unidentified substance. And it's an element that's in a monoatomic state or a spin state. So it's always going in at the orbit, and it's rearranging, and they call it the fifth dimensional element because when it's in the orbit, it actually disappears from the human eye and then comes back. So we call it that fifth dimensional element because it is multidimensional in some ways. And you can imagine ingesting or bringing that element either through your pulse points or however you're bringing it into your life. Your body starts to resonate as both form and what we would call spirit or multidimensional. And that's turning on the quantum body, is the multidimensionality of what we would consider form, but also what it is outside of form or beyond what the eye can see. So bringing that into our body is doing things with, so one thing with ORMUS is that there's a lot of studies on what it's doing, but it's a really hard element to actually study about what it is. So let's talk about what it's doing. So on a quantum level, it's extending telomere length. It's activating the pineal gland, releasing small amounts of DMT. So it's activating higher consciousness. It's raising the frequency of the physical body. That's also raising consciousness. Honestly, I'm really surprised that ORMUS isn't getting more attention than it is. I feel like it's something that everybody should be bringing into their life. And so what we do on top of just creating ORMUS in the alchemy that actually came through some guidance that I had back in 2015 is that we actually code our ORMUS with DMT frequency. So we have a scalar system through the evolution technology where we're actually coding the elements in specific frequency waves. And one that we have coming up, we have it actually coded with psilocybin. So it's really activating the frequency of DMT in kind of that psychedelic experience, but in a very subtle way, because we are working with subtle energies when we talk about coding ORMUS, and then you get to have the experience of what that is consciously.
And I think it's also important to mention that because it is subtle, it depends on how sensitive you are. So some people will feel it more than other people will. And that's the game of it, right? Is to really tap in and sense what's happening, what's the shift. And the more you look at that and feel into what that is, the more amplified it becomes. And then that's how you start to gamify your experience when we start to really play in what it is to live in frequency.
I love that you said that because I do feel there's people that are like, oh, well, I can't even, see things or even get to a place where I'm really imagining things. And it's all, they're tools, right? And there's some tools that we just need a little bit more practice and we have to, just like going to the gym, you hear people talk about it. Like if it's something that you're not using, so if you're not using your intuition, which is based on consciousness, then you're probably not going to be really good at it in the beginning. But the more you go to the gym and the stronger you use that muscle, then the better you're going to get at. And what maybe once was subtle is no longer subtle anymore. And that is kind of shifting from just using our basic five senses to using senses more on a quantum level. And that's what we're inviting everybody into, because to actually experience the quantum body, we have to start to identify as quantum. Well, guess what? Right now, quantum is a little bit more abstract because it isn't something we can physically see, but it's definitely something that we can sense and experience. And it is just as real as our physical body.
And it does get stronger. And what's coming through right now, and I need to say it because it's come through a few times now, is I'm inviting people to wake up, because we are spending so much of our attention, awareness, consciousness, and giving our energy to outsourcing it to other people and experiences. We're focusing way too much on what's going on outside of ourselves instead of feeling and experiencing and exploring how powerful you are within. And this is what I love about ORMUS, is that it's this beautiful tool that gets turned on inside of you, and you really start to focus within. It ties into that self-love and that self-empowerment. So I'm grateful for ORMUS. I can't wait to try that new one and see how it's different from our Scalar 33 ORMUS activator, which I love, by the way. I put it in my water. I use it on my skin. If I have a little cut, it's a super healer. So I can't talk enough about it. And I'm not just saying it because it's part of becoming bioquantum, but it really has changed my life. But have you tried the new ORMUS yet, Jules? Have you had a chance to play with it yet?
I haven't tried it. I actually just had to open up the box and take one out because I didn't even save one for myself. So thank goodness we're doing this so that I didn't ship them all away and not have any for myself. So they are all ready to go to those that feel the calling to be a part of our upcoming workshop, which is, or actually it's a retreat or an event. It's the DMT event that's going to be the 8th to the 10th of September. And this is going to be a big part of it. So it's activating the DMT with the ORMUS, and then we're going to actually journey through the different levels of consciousness within the frequency pattern that it's holding. So just like you would master a plant, if you're doing a psychedelic experience, we're going to do a different level of mastery within the frequency of the ORMUS so that it can show you what needs to be seen. And then you can end up on the top where you're actually in that clear kind of like the state that we're all looking for, right? As I call it, source intelligence. It's truly being in the frequency of 963 consciously.
I love it. Well, I am really, really looking forward to that event. It is like nothing else. I can assure you that. I've done a lot of retreats. I've gone to Costa Rica. I've done all kinds of stuff. This is in a league of its own. So if you want to experience something that is really affordable and mind-blowing, and now it's going to be different with this new ORMUS, I'm excited to explore that. I would love to share this experience with you under Jules's guidance, because she is a master at what she does, and it's an honor to be able to work with her. So please come and join us, and you will be held in the highest light. I can guarantee that.
Lots of
Any last words? Okay.
yeah.
All right. Blessings.